What's up, guys? It's Casey Zogelman, aka the Fourth Sanderson Sister, coming at you with another top 10 video. In today's video, I'm counting down the top 10 best moments of Hocus Pocus 2 because it turns 1 year old today. Yep, we officially have a toddler. Now, I know I said I was going to do a top 5, but after I sat down to start this, there were too many moments to just do a top 5. So we're doing a top 10 instead. Normally I'd be doing a live stream watch along today, but when you guys are seeing this, I'm running amok in Salem and unable to do a stream. So instead, we're looking back at the top 10 best moments of the movie that I think were most well received by fans and universally liked. So with that out of the way, let's get started.
That very book contains the recipe to the potion the sisters used to kill Emily Binks on Halloween night 1693. And that same night, the three witches hanged, but not before they cast the curse! 29 years ago, on Halloween night, some swear they saw 3 figures fly across the moon.
Sounds like someone had a little too much candy.
Well then, how do you explain this? Behold, the black flame candle burned to the wick.
Ooh, so the witches have been walking among us for 29 years? Look out, everybody!
No, man. The candle's magic only brings them back for one night. They disappear at sunrise, okay? Just, can I finish this? Thank you.
Gilbert is my best boy, as we all know, because you know, he's us. So when he comes out to tell the legend of the Sanderson sisters to us, he grabs our attention and we hang on his every word. Now the whole point of this scene is also why it's at number 10, because it's there for exposition. It's there for the people who, for some reason, have been living under a rock for the last 29 years, or 30 years at this point, and have not seen the original Hocus Pocus and need to learn about the Sanderson sisters and what they did. However, it's done in a fun and tasteful way because it's part of the magic shop experience, and the heckler giving Gilbert trouble is a welcome bit of back and forth. You can tell Gilbert is passionate about what he's talking about. He loves telling this story. He loves talking about the Sanderson sisters because he loves the Sanderson sisters. Editing, Casey, whatever you're doing, knock it off! And he becomes increasingly annoyed with this dude. Then, the pièce de résistance comes from Liam's, what's a virgin? The total derailment of Gilbert's story at that point was hysterical and an excellent throwback to the first movie's running joke. And from a technical standpoint, it was actually awesome to see the intercuts of the original Hocus Pocus in the telling of the legend. But since it was pretty much just there for exposition, I gotta put it down here at number 10. That said, Gilbert immediately being a Sanderson fanboy was everything.
Lock up your children! Yes, Salem, we're back!
Are those the Sanderson sisters?
We were running wild and so reviled, raising Cain until we got exiled. But times are changing, now we're on the attack. Yeah, the spell is gonna hit ya, cause the witches are back.
While we'd of course gotten a look at our Witchley trio before the movie from stills and trailers, it was still really exciting to see them return from the grave. From Sarah's lilting voice, warning viewers of their incoming, to the earthquake, the area going dark, and suddenly the lightning flash teasing us with their silhouettes until bam! Winifred announces their return, and we get to see them immediately start being show-offs and just everything we love and remember about them. Of course, slipping right into a musical number that I would have liked to see more of, considering there was clearly choreography we didn't see, but we switched to Izzy and Becca several times, which kind of messed with the vibe a little. Now, they did do this during I Put a Spell on You in the first movie, but for the cutaways to happen when this was the first time in 29 years we had seen the Sanderson sisters together again, it kind of felt rude. This is, of course, a minor complaint because the scene itself was awesome and it did give us Izzy's great line that we all related to.
What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? I don't know, but I literally can't stop watching them.
Delicious.
floral with a woodsy finish. Look, 'tis the face of a child. A newborn. Oh, sister, what does it taste like? Raspberry.
Retinol. What a charming name for a child.
We should get some salt. Why? So we taste better when they eat us?
Walgreens was a fantastic reintroduction to the Sanderson sisters dynamic. It was so funny to see them in a store surrounded by a bunch of crap that they knew absolutely nothing about. It provided them with ample opportunities to tickle our funny bones, which they did several times. We all still crack jokes about the face mask, the retinol, that sort of thing. I think the reason it's down here at number 8 is because of the blatant product placement happening by having this scene take place in a branded building instead of a nondescript location. That's what I've heard people say the most about this scene in the negative. However, that said, this was a brilliant moment of the movie, serving as a reintroduction, like I said, to the dynamic of the Sanderson sisters. This is also a nod to the cut grocery store scene from Hocus Pocus 1 that was cut and has yet to be released to the public, but that's another topic for another day. I like that they threw us back to the infamous store scene by creating something new from it. It was a hilarious tribute that really kicked off the antics that would ensue for the rest of the movie.
I cannot eat. I am too troubled. It's the Turner boys off the In the Hayburg again? Worse. I've been told I'm getting old and I must marry. Then I took the Lord's name in vain. Twice. Thou art most wicked, Winnie. Only a truly wretched man can make me say such things. It was my favorite place. There, Winnie. Let us forget the Reverend. And John Pritchett. Would thee like to open thy presents? Act as if we're not here.
Open the door.
We're not here.
One of the greatest moments of this film was the beginning. The 10 minutes we spent with the baby Sandersons were glorious. Taylor Henderson nailed Bet's inflections and body language. Nailed them! Nina Kitchen was a fantastic Mary. She had the mouth down. She had the stature perfect. Juju Brenner was so sweet as Sarah, and she nailed the body language and the personality. Why is this number 7 when it was one of the greatest moments, you may ask? Because we didn't get enough time with them. I could watch an entire movie about them growing up to become what we saw in movie 1. Better yet, a prequel miniseries. I'm not picky, whichever one you want to do. Their chemistry was fantastic, and they immediately jumped into our hearts and set up camp. I absolutely loved every second we spent with them, but it was not enough. It wasn't enough. I needed more.
Oh, I cannot bear this. I must find a way. My sisters.
Look.
I must find a way.
This spell doesn't bring them back. It sends you to them.
Before we hit the upper 5, we gotta talk about this moment. Oh, this part got me sad, and we'll talk more about this later in the list, but it was book that just drove that last nail in the coffin here. I liked that it was Book who had been trying to stop this the entire time to protect Winifred, his best friend. He loved Winnie so much, and he'd watched her and her sisters grow up from children. They'd been each other's constant, so to see him torn up by her sadness was heartbreaking in the best way. He knew Winifred was not going to give up on the Magicae Maxima, so when she got what she wanted and lost what she loved, we saw more emotion out of that little spell book than what we saw out of Kristen Stewart in the entire Twilight Saga, and I haven't even watched those movies, and I know it's true. The single tear after Winifred departed was just so palpable. This twist was honestly really smart on the part of the writers and the production team. Fun fact, this scene was reshot because originally Book did it all by himself instead of with the new girls. This was seen as too abrupt and reshot. I am so glad they let this be a conscious choice by Book and not the kids. They were able to really make us feel what Book was feeling, and that's why it's on this list at number 6.
Poisoned apple! Poisoned apple! Would you like a poisoned apple?
Oh, thou must never announce that they are poison, sister. No one will eat them if they think they're deadly. Amateur.
Winifred interacting with another witch was great, because she doesn't understand the concept of costumes sometimes. But the fact that she pulled this woman aside and called her out for her plan being too obvious, that was just fabulous. She was so serious about it too. When we get to see Winifred being sassy towards someone aside from her sisters, my god, it's always a good time. I don't have a lot to say about this moment apart from I love it, and so does most of the fan base. I get a lot of the amateur jokes, in the Discord a couple of times, which if you haven't joined the Discord, join the Discord. It was great seeing Bet just be Winnie and be funny, bringing what she does best to the characters she loves the most.
1, 2, 3, 4. One way or another, I'm gonna find ya. I'm gonna get ya. One way or another, I'm gonna win ya. I'm gonna get ya. One way or another, I'm gonna see ya. I'm gonna meet ya one day. Maybe real soon, I'm gonna meet ya. I'll meet ya.
This would be higher up on the list if it hadn't been leaked to the general public about 10 months in advance. I truly believe it is possible that those leaks are why we didn't get the fully choreographed stage number, so thank you for that, you silly, silly leakers, you. But that said, who wasn't ready to get up and dance along to this new song? This was amazing! The song is extremely well done. The lyrics were very catchy, and what we did see of the choreography was breathtaking. Seeing the Sanderson sisters back on stage, singing their hearts out to bewitch the crowd, brought me back to my childhood immediately. I was proud of myself for not listening to it beforehand or looking at the leaked video because it made my enjoyment so much more genuine. Each actress brought their character through perfectly with their vocals and with their unique choreography. Sarah was light and graceful, Winifred was powerful, and Mary was a little goofy, but still on point as always. Considering the night they filmed this was during one of the coldest nights of the shoot, my hat off to Bet, Kathy, and Sarah Jessica for enduring that for us. Love you three so much. So much love for you three. If at any point someone drives up next to my car while I'm belting this song at the top of my lungs, mind your business, I'm happy. My one criticism is that we didn't get the full dance number and half of the song because it became the background music for a montage of the sisters looking for Trask. I didn't hate the montage, but we could have finished the number before we used it as background music.
I am suddenly powerful. Winnie, me too. I am also found suddenly powerful.
Holy biscuits, I lost my dang mind when this happened. Again, this would have possibly been a little higher up and a little bit better if they hadn't used Sarah zapping in a promo video. Like, WTF, Disney?
Really?
Honestly, that was a twist y'all should have had under wraps until the movie premiered. But when I saw that bolt of purple lightning, my heart leapt for joy. And when Mary's orange went pew pew, I was done. It was the best moment of my entire existence for 1 minute because my poor little walked all over babies were firing lightning like it was going out of style. I was like, yes, let the chaos begin. And they were so freaking happy. That joy on Sarah's face when she realized she was suddenly really strong was precious. And Mary's laugh and the pew-pews from the elation and not being the weakest anymore was adorable. Seeing the pair of them get stronger and just look so happy was uplifting to my entire soul. It was nice to see them get their dues they put up with and went through a lot to get to this point, and it paid off.
Sisters, yeah, the witches are back. Stone cold sinners, as a matter of fact. I'm a witch, but I'm better than you. Watch the way that we fly, the way that you'll die. Whoa.
At number 2, we have the credits music video because it was super fun and the song finally got a chance to shine. This was also basically the theme song for the entire film and what led up to it. This was what we were all saying from the moment we found out Hocus Pocus 2 was coming. It was so exciting that they're back after so long. And this musical number at the end of the movie was more than just a credit scene. We had just gotten our hearts ripped out and stomped on 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 times. So to see the Sanderson sisters one last time in their recording booth in Purgatory was so comforting. It was like a sigh of relief, knowing they were okay after what happened. We didn't get that the first time. So the closure was nice to know that they were all right. They were together. They were okay. Then, of course, the antics. Lord, the antics were perfect. You could tell the ladies were just having a really good time with this. Bet was killing it as usual. Kathy was cracking me up with all the stuff she was doing, and Sarah Jessica did a cartwheel in full costume and wig. That in itself was impressive, as I can't even do a cartwheel without injuring myself anymore, so kudos. And from what I've heard, a lot of fans preferred this number over one way or another, which I kind of agree with. We got more time with this number. It was not leaked. It was a total surprise, and it was so fun. It was just the most joyful song I've ever heard this trio sing, and I vibe to it all the time. So again, if you drive up next to me and I'm belting this at the top of my lungs, mind your business. I'm happy.
Winnie. Thou art no witch. Thou art nothing but a silly child. Thou knowest nothing.
Winnie? Winnie? The wind is stealing my fingers.
Winnie,
Sisters.
It's over. Oh no. Oh, Winnie, please don't forget us. Oh, and I know I was a favorite.
Oh, stop. Oh, please, don't leave me.
Art thou not coming with us?
Magicae Maxima, Convatio, rescind the spell. Oh, not my sisters. My beloved, infuriating sisters. Why, they were my kin. Of course, I was the pretty one. But they were my passionate partners in unholy mischief. Oh, what fun we had. My doing has been my undoing. My folly, my fate. Oh, what is this feeling? Oh, I think it is my heart. I fear it is breaking.
This was the pinnacle of the film, and as you guys can see from the last 4 entries on this list, the last 40 minutes of this movie was a masterclass. But nothing, absolutely nothing, got my emotions going quite like this. because up to this point, we'd only seen a little bit of real sisterly love between the Sanderson sisters. They stuck together, but, infighting was a big issue, too. Winifred is always smacking Mary and calling Sarah names, but here we saw their bond for real. We saw the raw emotion of how much they love each other. Really love each other. From the moment Sarah and Mary realize what's happening, to Winifred beginning to knock down her walls and mourn the two people she loves the most, this was a masterpiece of storytelling. I'm obsessed with how amazing everything was in this scene. The way they reached for each other but couldn't grab hold. The way Sarah and Mary looked at each other knowing it was about to just be them. The way Winifred begs them to not leave her alone because that was the thing she feared the most. Not growing old, but being alone. And she immediately dissolves into that heart-wrenching monologue that makes me cry absolutely every time I watch the scene. It's so good to see that Winifred gives a crap about her family. Not only was this scene amazing for the characters, it showcased how perfect the actresses are together. Sarah Jessica conveyed that fear that a younger sibling would have when being separated from their older siblings. Kathy, while moving me to tears, still brought the laughs while we were all trying to keep it together on the other side of the screen. And Bet, well, there's a reason she's the Divine Miss M. That performance was Oscar-worthy. That monologue was the most moving piece of film I have seen in years. She brought everything to that performance, and she killed it. This is the #1 moment because there was no better way to send off the Sanderson sisters. It was perfect. So there we have it. Those are my picks for the top 10 best moments in Hocus Pocus 2. What do you guys think? Do you agree with my picks, or would you have chosen a different moment? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to drop a like and subscribe. If you haven't, it's free. It helps me. What helps me helps you guys get more great content like this. Tune in on Monday to see my video of the Hocus Pocus filming sites that I visited while in Salem, Massachusetts. I'm sure future me is having a blast when you all see this. Present me is currently stressed out because she has got to get packed and she's got to get this done and that done and everything done in the next 48 hours, and that's pretty much just 24 hours. So a little stressy, but I'm fine. If you want to keep up with my other hijinks in Salem, go follow me on Instagram, as that's where I'll be posting those. If you're a regular on this channel, please remember to drop a like and share your thoughts on this list down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Casey Zogelman, aka the 4th Sanderson sister, and I'll see you witches and wizards later.
I am